Okay, go about your business.
What was that?
Go about your business.
All right. All right. Class war. And who are the classes? Yeah, who are the classes?
Bourgeoisie, proletariat.
Wow, that sounds so familiar. And who are the bourgeoisie?
Are you filming me?
Yeah, you don't mind, right?
I don't consent. Sorry.
Well, I don't need your consent, as you know. You don't need to talk to me, but consent is a completely different story. That's fine. Don't you want your words to be spread, information to be spread?
Sorry, what?
No, I'm just talking to your partner, I guess. I was figuring, when somebody's recording someone demonstrating something, wouldn't you want your kind of ideas to be spread far and wide as much as you can?
Yeah, some people get nervous on camera.
Okay.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah, I guess so. You're not, though.
Depends.
I see. So no war but the class war. I mean, it seems like you're carrying the same brochures.
Yes,
And I asked this gentleman, what's the class war? I mean, what specifically is that? I mean, war is a kind of very, I don't know, scary word for me.
So, look around you. All around you see working class people. Working class people rising up against big businesses, against corporations, against the capitalist class. That's what we mean by class warfare.
I see.
It's people coming together and forming an actual working class.
But what's the end game?
The end game is to live under socialism.
Oh, socialism, really?
Yes, we have Socialist Revolution.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's interesting. But I think that so many countries tried socialism in the past, and for some reason they never succeeded. Maybe you're the one who would explain to me why none of these countries ever succeeded. USSR, China, Eastern Bloc countries in Europe, Indochina, I mean, you name it, Cuba, North Korea, Central, South America, they all tried to implement socialism and all failed.
It's a very interesting question. It's a very complex question.
Sure.
Too complex to get into right now, all the details of it.
Yeah, but just generally, sure.
Before our modern era, how many countries under capitalism failed?
Well, see, there are different types of failure. I can understand, let's say, one if you own business, like I have my own business, okay? And I was pursuing certain ventures with the business before. It failed, no harm, except to me and my own business. Then I tried another business, it has succeeded, and now it's thriving, okay? Like no harm to anybody. Now, when you try socialism and you do the revolution, and the revolution, unfortunately, in many cases involves, well, war and death and destruction, like between Mao Zedong and Stalin alone, they murdered close to 100 million innocent people, including the war debt for the Soviet Union. That's not the kind of experiment that I want to be conducted on me. I mean, living in America, after all, we're both Americans. So you want to change the system, right, from capitalism or market economy to socialism. So do you think it's going to be a bloodless experiment? Because it has never been bloodless before.
So to make things clear,
sure.
Our group, Socialist Revolution, we are Trotskyists, so we are specifically anti-Stalin. We do not agree with what Stalin did in the USSR.
Okay.
We think that Stalin nearly single-handedly took down the successful revolution that came before him. And we fundamentally believe that a revolution of the people and by the people can be achieved bloodlessly. The 1917 revolution in Russia was mostly bloodless. The only deaths that happened were self-defense, when soldiers fired into peaceful crowds. The war that happened after, the Civil War, was an invasion of the Soviet Union by outside forces.
Okay, so
defensive war.
Okay, fine. So it was more than 100 years ago, but now here we are today, 2022. You're in this Union Square, wanting to change the system that, for better or for worse, has been working for over 2.5 centuries.
Working for who, then? Working for all the homeless people you see in New York City? Just walking here today, I passed by probably more than 100 homeless people. You think capitalism's working for them? You think capitalism is working for all the people
Thank you.
who are out in the square
You look like Trotsky.
slaving without a union? Oh, thank you very much.
So, and you think that if you change the system from capitalist to socialism, there'll be no more homeless people?
It'll be a process,
But the end result, you think that the end game will be thanks to you, thanks to people like yourself, with the Socialist Revolution, we'll end up having 0 homeless people.
No, I don't believe it.
So they will not accomplish that.
That's some utopian idealist promise that no one worth their salt is ever going to make.
But then I'm confused. On the one hand, you are blaming capitalism for homeless people around here. On the other hand, your revolution is not going to remedy that. It's not going to change that. So what's the revolution for
You're
them?
never going to completely eradicate every social ill in your society.
Then what's the revolution
There's
for?
going to be a little bit of socialism. The idea is to minimize it. And is to say that when we do see homeless people, we do everything we can to help them. You're not going to be able to help everybody.
I see. So, but then why start the revolution in the first place when every system has a flaw?
Because the current system works specifically to oppress the working class for the benefit of, no offense, but people like you, people, small business owners.
So I'm the oppressor then. I'm the one who's providing my employees with decent wages, people who are really happy working for me because I treat them really, really
Do
well.
you provide your workers with a living wage?
Absolutely.
Do you provide
way
them
more
with
than that.
benefits?
Absolutely.
Sick leave?
Yes, absolutely.
Do your workers have a union?
They don't need to have a union.
If they wish to have a union, would you let them?
If they want to, sure.
Okay.
So what's wrong with me then?
Then I would say you're on the path to standing in my shoes, sir.
You think so?
Yeah.
But I don't need this, social revolution because I actually lived it. I came from USSR originally, so I kind of know exactly what it leads to.
Yeah.
For 29 years, I was observing that, and there's nothing good that ever comes from that.
Yeah, and again, I and no one in my organization would ever support the USSR that you grew up in.
But there's no other country. I mean, that's my point. They tried it in China. Miserable failure. And all these countries that I listed before, miserable failure. Misery. I lived in misery. Total, complete misery in USSR. And that's the system that was created by Trotsky and Stalin and Lenin and all the above. And they started with Lenin in the first place.
Yes.
And you're a Trotsky guy.
Lenin and Trotsky and the revolution were all betrayed by Stalin.
But it doesn't matter. I'm
There
talking.
are many books
But
written
how?
on how the revolution
Fine,
was.
but how can I guarantee that if, let's say, you, whatever your name is, or whoever your leader is, will start the revolution, and then there will not be another Stalin thwarting your efforts? I mean, how? See, it failed over there. It failed in all those countries. How can I guarantee that it's not going to fail again? That there will be there will not be another traitor like Stalin.
That's why we're out here teaching people.
Why are you filming?
Huh?
Why are you filming?
Why?
Yeah.
It's like open square.
Okay.
You're
No, I'm
here
just asking
protesting.
why. I'm just asking why.
Well, because I want to understand. Look, you're for Socialist Revolution, okay?
No, I'm asking why. It's
That-
just
that's
to
why.
Understand.
To understand
Do you
that.
want to be talking to him?
Of course.
We've been having a good conversation.
Okay. I'll let you-
So, but why do you think that you have to interfere?
No, just you have a camera in his face.
Yeah,
I want to make sure
he knows,
I
of
just want
course.
to make sure he's comfortable. And
Yeah,
if he's not
no,
comfortable.
he's a small business owner. I'm trying to convince him of the benefits.
To
of
switch
our-
sides.
I'm just looking out.
You
for-
don't have. He's a big guy. You don't have to
I
protect him, right?
No, it has been a good conversation. But I think I am going to leave
I
the
see.
papers.
All right.
Okay, so you have a good day. Happy
Okay,
May
you too.
Day, sir.
Happy May Day.
Hay que levantarnos, hay que enseñar la lucha de los barrios.